Hey guys, today we're going to be doing application 11.2. So I'll just read through the problem and then we'll start. A general journal and selected accounts receivable and general ledger accounts for Quality Future Center are given in the working papers. Use the current year, journalizing the following transactions on page 9 of a general journal. Source documents are abbreviated as followed: credit memo and sales invoice. So the first thing I always do, let's start with that journal page number 9 because you don't want to forget about it. And then we'll start with each transaction. We have the general journal, and then this is the accounts receivable ledger with all the specific names, and then the general ledger with just like these simple account titles. First thing says, found that a sale on account to John Auburn was incorrectly charged to the account of Mary Best for $1,562. So I'll go ahead and write September 3rd. And we ask ourselves, John Auburn, and it was incorrectly charged to Mary Best. So we need to get it in John Auburn's account. So that's what I'll write first. John Auburn. Document number M160, and it was for $1,562. Then we go to Mary Best, and we get it out of her account. $1,562. The key thing to note here, I think, is that these don't affect the accounts receivable general account, because it's not changing what's owed to us. It's just changing who owes it to us. So then we can move on to the next one, the 5th. Granted credit to Anna Jackson for merchandise return $657 plus sales tax for $39.42. From S884, the total is $696.42. So I'm going to write September 5th. We have the account called sales returns and allowances because she returned items to us. And there was sales tax, so we can't forget about the sales tax payable. Sorry about the dogs. Sales tax payable. Don't need the S there. Sales tax payable. So we have two debits. We have the amount that she is returning to us, which is the $656. And then the payable tax is $39. The sales tax was $39.42. So the merchandise that's returned is the $657. The sales tax was $39.42, and in total, Anna Jackson, it can be taken out of accounts receivable. Of Anna Jackson. Abbreviate that. For the total of $696.42. The document number was CM88. These two added together will give you this full amount, but the transaction also gives us all the amounts. 14, we granted credit to Mettsville Schools for damaged merchandise, $398. There was no sales tax from S879. We don't really do anything with that, so CM89 is the document number. So we write the date, which is the 14th. We have sales returns and allowances because they're returning something to us. We granted them credit. Sales returns and allowances. And then it was the accounts receivable. Bless me. Of Mettsville Schools. abbreviate that. So the document number for the 14th is the CM89. So I'm going to put CM89 here. And then just whatever the amount was. I'm seeing 389 or 398. 398. Okay, perfect. 398. Last one is the 19th. Found that a sale on account to Burns Associate was incorrectly charged to the account of Cassidy Corporation for $993. So I'm just going to write the date again. We want to get it into Burns and Associates. And we want to get it out of Cassidy's. $993 and $993. Okay, and the document number was M161. The only thing that I forgot to do is put my nice little slashes in the post reference places where we need to post twice. Again, the reason we don't post twice for like the first ones is because we already had recorded that amount in the accounts receivable general ledger box, but we just need to make sure we move it in the accounts receivable ledger. Okay, so the next part of the problem says to post each general journal entry to the accounts receivable and general ledgers. So let's go ahead and post like it's saying. Let's post the accounts receivable first. So here's my accounts receivable ledger. And let's see my camera. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to restart. So it just fell. Here's the accounts receivable ledger. And we're gonna go ahead and post to that. So September 3rd is the date. And I just start with John Auburn. So the post ref is G9. And it's a debit of $1,562. We add these two together to get a total of $2,151.15. The post reference is 1110. And we can move on to Mary Best. And so the date is the 3rd, G9. And it is a credit for $1,562. And if we have a debit balance, we subtract it from a credit entry. And it looks like we're down to 0. 120 was the customer number. This would make sense because we accidentally recorded it in her account. Okay, so maybe she had already paid her account off or something. Now we go down. Sales returns and allowances is not posted in the general, or it's not posted in the accounts receivable ledger. Sales tax payable is not either. Accounts receivable is not, but Anna Jackson is posted. So we'll go down to Anna Jackson. We'll put the date, which is the 5th. And the post reference is G9. $696 is the credit and 42 cents. And if we have a credit entry, we subtract it from a debit balance. And we should get a total of $1,251.83. 150 is the customer number, 150. Okay, sales returns and allowances, that's only in the general ledger. Accounts receivable is the general ledger. Metville is in the accounts payable, or the accounts receivable ledger. So we go ahead, we put the date, which is the 14th, G9, and 398 is the credit. If we have a debit running balance, we subtract it out for $2,396.18. 160 is the customer post reference, and that one's good. Next one is Burns and Associates. Burns and Associates is what that was. And so I find that one and I write the 19th, G9, and it was a debit of $993. A debit balance plus a debit entry, $1,482.58. 130 is the post reference. And finally, Cassidy Corporations, we have the 19th, G9, credit for $993. If we have a debit balance, we subtract it from the credit, $1,206.19. 140 is that post reference. Second step of part 2 is to post the rest of the general journal to the general ledger. So we'll go ahead and we just start at the top and work our way down. So we have, this is posted, this one's posted, sales returns and allowances is not yet posted. We write the 5th, G9, 657 is the debit. A debit balance plus a debit entry, $3,144.60. 4130 is the account number, and we move on to sales tax payable. The 5th, G9, $39.42 is the debit. A credit running balance, you subtract from a debit entry, $608.68. 2120. Now the accounts receivable. 5G6, $696.42 minus a debit running balance to get $8,885.93. 1130 is the post reference. Sales returns and allowances is the next one. I just keep going down. The 14th, G9, 398 is the debit. And a debit plus a debit balance of $3,542.60. 4130. 4130 is the post reference. And finally, the accounts receivable. So we will go to the 14th is the date. G6, 398. You subtract that out from a debit balance to get $8,487.93. 1130. Good. Now you can see all the journal entries. You can see how much each person now owes us, the updated amounts, and how much we have in accounts receivable, how much we have in sales tax payable, how much we have in sales returns and allowances. And we're good to go. There is 11-2. Good luck.